So in this video, let's see what's meant by class and object. Uh, Before getting into its definition, let's see what's meant by object-oriented programming. Because without speaking about object-oriented programming, it will be meaningless talking about class and object. So object-oriented programming is nothing but a programming approach or a programming paradigm which is different compared to that C programming language, that is structure-oriented programming language. Here in this programming language, every aspects will be considered as classes and objects. For example, consider that you are going to develop a C++ program for a railway reservation system. So in that, first we need to identify the objects. So objects in the sense, a general definition for object is a real world entity. Anything in the world uh, can be taken as an object. So here also in the railway reservation system, we are considering certain aspects as objects. For example, the passengers, trains. So everything will be considered. So first, what we need to do is we need to identify the objects. So and we have to group those objects, and the common parameters of those objects will be coming into the class. So coming to the definition of a class and object, we can define a object as an instance of a class, and in the reverse, class can be defined as a collection of objects. So to better understand, consider a car as a class and the variants of car as objects. So similarly, another one example, if you take our normal classrooms, for example, if a department is there, in that a particular class is there, for example ITC is there, so in that ITC we are calling it as class because so all the students in that particular class are can be termed as objects. Those objects are just going to share the common things that are going inside the class. So I think you have better understood about class and objects. Coming to the formal definition, classes are blueprints for the objects. So to better understand, another example I can give. Suppose if you are going to apply for an admission in a college, so there you will be having an application form. That application form will be photocopied for the applicants who aspire to join in the college. So here the blue or the photocopied applications can be termed as objects. So and the original application can be called as a class because so whatever in the original application it has been taken in the new application, or it has been reprinted in the new application, and in that particular application the new applicant will be filling his details. So as a whole, if you see the filled applications, so whatever the details that are mentioned in the main applications, that will be there, and the data for that will be would have been filled there. So this is the difference between classes and objects. So that only we are calling classes are blueprints for the object. So whatever is in the object, it will be it would have come from the classes. So and we are calling class as a user defined data type. So you can create a class of your own. So we are terming it as user defined data type. So inside the class, we will be calling it the members of the class. So we have two things inside the class, that is data members and functions. So what the data members are nothing but the datas that we are going to specify in the class, and the functions are those functions that perform operations using the datas inside the class. So here it is a simple example for the declaration of a class. So if you want to declare a class, first you have to use the keyword class followed by the class name. Inside the body of the class, you will be having functions and data members. Here in this class we have only data members, that is brand and model. So since the class is car, related to that we will be having data. So and then year in the sense the model of the car. The year which it when the year which when it was unveiled. So here additional to the members we have access specifiers. So that is an important concept in object oriented programming. So these are all used to restrict access for the members inside the class. So that we will be seeing in the next video. So coming to the definition of an object, so object is nothing but an instance of a class. So an object is just a copy of a class, we can say. So what are all defined or what are all mentioned in the class, that a copy will be a copy of that will be created as an object. So in the previous slide we have seen what a class is. So in this and how to declare it, here we are just going to see how to create an object or how to declare an object from the class. So this is the basic syntax for declare an object of a class. So here you have mentioned class name and this is nothing but object name. So let's see this example. So here this example just has it has a core class, and from the core class objects were created and values has been assigned. So here, so as we already seen, so this is the class. So here we have to write the class keyword followed by it the class name. Here it is access specifier, followed by it we have to, here they have mentioned the data members. So in this class we haven't used the functions, member functions, we haven't, only data members are used. So what happens, this is the basic format that a car has, so that only we have declared it as a class. So actually coming to the, a program normally executes from the main function. So inside the main function only we are just going to create an object for the car. So actually what we are doing in the program is, so we are just declaring the common aspects what a car will have in the class. So from that we are just taking a copy, that is by creating an object you can take a copy of the class, then a new object will be created. So in that object you are just filling its respective details. For example, here in this line or in this instruction we are just creating an object named object1. That is what happens is, an object in turn it is nothing but a memory. So here an object named object1 will be created, that is a memory will be allotted under the name object. So in that, actually what happens is, once the object is created, so since we are creating the object as that of the car, that is we are using this car class, we are creating an object. So once the object is created, so all the functions or data members which are all represented in the class will be coming into the object. For example, once object one is created, so a copy of the class will be there in the object. So what a class has, it has a data member named brand. So for a brand data type string, so a memory will be allocated, and for model a memory will be there, for year a memory will be there. So we have created a copy of a class here, so and we are naming it as object1. So coming to the definition, so what we have seen, that is an object is an instance of a class. So this object is instance of the class, a copy of the class. So then we will be filling the data in this particular data member field. Then it becomes the details of the object one. So here for this object one, the data members are created in the memory. So now these memories are empty. Now we have to assign values. To assign a value to the member of a object, so you have to use the object name dot the member of the object, object name and its member, and you are assigning the value to it. So what happens is object1 dot brand, that it goes to the memory named object1. In that it access the data member brand, or the memory brand. To that it assigns BMW. Okay. Then object1 dot model. Here what happens? It accesses the model field of object1 and it places x5 here. Similarly, for object1 dot here, this 1999 will be placed. So to now what happened till now, what we have done is we have created an object named object1. Inside it we have filled the details of its brand, model and year. So now we have created a car named BMW, its model X5 and its the year of unveiled 1999, and then we are just going to display the details that are stored in the object. So for same what we have done for insertion, we are just doing the same for extraction. That is, we are for displaying. Here we are using the cout function, and using that function we are going to display the details that are inside the object. So to access the brand data member inside the object, we are just using object1.brand. So now this goes and takes the output, takes the value from there, and through the cout it displays. So this is what a class and object is. So here the advantage is once you create a class, so you can create many number of objects from the base class or the main class. So this is the thing that we have to understand regarding class and all. To consolidate, classes are nothing but a blueprint of a object. So and objects are nothing but an instance or a copy of a classes. So like car, we can give many examples. As I said earlier, student is a class. Then the instance of the class, for example, if a person named Ravi is there, so he is an instance of the class. And similarly, there will be many students who are all the instance of the class. So instance in the sense these objects are the students are just following whatever it is in the class. So this is nothing but the definition about a class and object.